Hi, this is Christelle Martinet with a quick fix before the June monthlies. I know that I've been away a couple of days, but sometimes I'm not always in a Wi-Fi area, so I have to make do with what I can. But today is I have lost count. What is it today? Today's Tuesday, the 23rd, I believe, or the 24th. I think it's the 20th. Well, I'll get it right by the end of the video. Let me take a look here. Okay. It looks like everybody's really just waiting to take off those heavy weights, you know. There's a generalized sensation of wanting to just get rid of some things, get rid of them, just go, you know, out, damn spot, as I guess it was Shakespeare, what was that? And we'll stop at nothing to do that. You know, it seems that all of a sudden there's a collective realization of, what the hell have I been doing? What, am I crazy? How could I have been putting up with this? Don't I see that? You know, and this is generalized. I'm seeing this as being generalized. I could call it a collective awakening, but there is something in the works that is really moving a slew of people, moving masses to just reawaken. It's a collective reawakening, I believe, and it takes many forms. And what I'm seeing here today in this quick fix is that, you know, they're like horses at the starting gate, waiting for that pistol to go, so they can just start galloping and flying. You know, the race, getting away. But it's not so much a race to arrive, where it's a race to get away from. You know, to shed those clothes. You know, shed those old clothes, and it's really bello. I'm getting these mixed up. It's beautiful. I went to the bar to have breakfast this morning. I started to talk to the guy in English. He was looking at me. I go there every morning. He says, what happened with her? She's possessed. Yeah, well, sometimes it happens. It's really, really pleasant, because I see a wide, you know, I see a coming up, you know, coming up. Everybody's coming up. There's buzz, 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 you know. And it is a collective. I see it on a collective scale, but what I'm really seeing is singling out individuals that have, in their own way, come to a sort of realization, you know, come to a sort of realization about their own personal situation in a collective, how they act within a collective, how they act in relation to their relatives, extended family, close friends, old friends, you know, old lovers, the way they're acting to others in the world, and individually they're assessing each and every one. And it's almost as if they're looking through a mirror, but whereas, well, no, I'm just getting 49. I mean, it's like the elections, you know. I'm getting 49, 51. There are 49% of the people who are ready to take the responsibility. What have I done? What have I done? Whereas the others, what have they done to me? You know. Now that's an odd position to take, because if you're talking about other people doing things to you, you're not poised to control that or to change that if you feel that, you know. But if you're in a position of control, of taking on responsibility, you can do with your life what you want, really. You know, you can shift your energy as you wish. You know, that is something you have, your soul has control over. to a certain degree, of course, we go to sleep. We don't know what happens when we're sleeping, and that's the subconscious. And there too, would be, it's a whole other ball game of what happens. And I don't think there's enough time in this scrying session to go through that. But as far as our conscious efforts are, this is what I'm seeing. However, there is the dark side. Okay, there is this dark side, and well, I could call it the dark side and take my other crystal here, but the dark side is not necessarily a negative side. The dark side is where light becomes more clearer. Now, the interesting part here is that whereas in the past I've always seen a lot of fear in making major changes, now I'm not. It seems that as if people are fed up, fed up with themselves for the most part. But then they, there's that large percentage of people who thinks that other people have the reins, are holding the reins. And unless you buy into certain, right, you get married. I'm going to use this as an example. You get married. As an example, a friend has brought up to within a Catholic environment. All right, I'll use the Catholic religion. It could be Jewish, could be anything. You get married in a Catholic environment, and the pressure is so strong that you abide by certain traditions, and you stay within certain confines, and everything is wonderful in the marriage, the pictures, and everything. And literally, and I'm saying literally, this is over and over and over I hear, the day after, it's a mess. Okay, so the reality sets in. You bought into something, and it's actually buying into, loved the man, loved the woman, fantastic family. When push comes to shove, who are we, what are we going to use for favors? No, I only want my dearest friends 10. Oh no, there has to be at least 200 because the mayor and his, all right, so that's where the politics comes in. And and where you start to get a feel for the environment, around you. I'm using this as an example, and many people who are caught in that, I'm going to use that expression, situation, don't realize that they bought into the situation. So I'm seeing a large part of those a large part of us that are unaware that it's of their own doing. Even if the pressure is so great, okay, it's not like someone is tying you to a chair. It's not like you will be hanged at sunset because you say no, all right? It's your own choice, really. But then, when the realization comes, and the realization does have the image of a beam, of a beam of light. It's not scattered, it's a beam of light. The scattered light was then focused, and it's a beam of light, and it comes out piercing through a surface of this kind, and it bounces off and really, really illuminates you. And, as I said, whereas in the past I've heard, felt, seen the fear, here I'm not seeing the fear. I'm seeing a reawakening, a happiness, elation, extreme readiness, to say such a simple word, but extreme joy in taking a stand. And it's really, really interesting. And sometimes you ask yourself, well, or I ask myself, because I see these things and I'm looking at them, what is it? What is that little moment that makes people change? Is it a series of things? And I myself have gone through so many changes, so I know it's never just one. Even if, you have the experience of getting up and saying, basta, forget it, I want a divorce, I've had enough. And it seems like you're doing it and experiencing it in one moment. But I think, if truth be told, it's all of those little moments. He puts that fruit on the bottom of the refrigerator. He puts in the dishwasher. I hate to have the glasses on the, little things that then come up, and all of a sudden you say, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. All right, but it is being experienced as a one-off enlightenment, okay? Which is so interesting, because what happens in those kinds of situations is that first you go right through and there's no doubt in your mind that now is the moment. And there's no doubt. You never have any doubt about what you're about to do, what you're going to leave behind, what you're approaching, because of obviously the experiences that have, accumulated, and all of the those moments that you have taken it upon yourself to endure. I'll use that word, endure, through hardships, mental, physical abuse. And what lays beyond that is really extreme. Well, it's a slate. It's a clean slate. It's a canvas, a sheet of music to start writing music, a brand new day. And the memories of the past seem to fade away. It doesn't, it seems that what I'm seeing is that when that occurs, when this elation, epiphany, okay, that's the word I wanted, the epiphany comes about, you tend to not see that negative, what you have conceived of as negative in the past. You tend to see you tend to see it as something that's positive, and you only have good memories, which is extremely interesting and beneficial, because then you don't, you don't have bad feelings towards people who came along with you on your little journey. You see them in a different light, in a different perspective. And also what I'm seeing is that you're no longer, I'll say we're no longer in a position of feeling, oh my God, I can't do it. I can't, because then what are my children and my husband and my ex and my this and my that, because you're so afraid, what will they do without me, And what I'm seeing is they'll be so happy that you finally are doing what you want. And when, I always said to my family, if I'm unhappy, everyone's going to be unhappy, so I better be happy, because my meals will taste better. At least I'll cook. Let's see. Yes, what is coming up is a period of self-maintenance, I'm going to call it. You go to the esthetician, the beautician, you get a facial, you have your nails, you get, your wax wrapped, dried, cleaned, going through the motions of preparing for a new season, not only summer, but a new season of your life. Your hair gets a cut. Let me have it something different. Let me do something different. Pull this up, turn this around, let me see if this works. New clothes, going to the flea market and trying to see something, going into places you don't go to normally. Women who shop in high fashion shops will just, go through the streets and find a stand in a flea market and find something they like. Things that you're going down different pathways, different, that you would not have before, which is very interesting. And I just don't see fear. There's no fear here. There's no fear. There's a lot of positive attitude toward change. Something that I haven't seen in a long time. This last year, I can't even remember when I've seen that positive. I felt more like a cheerleader here doing the readings than I feel like I had to pull, my readership, my subscribers. But instead here, I'm just sitting back watching the show. And it is a great show. It's really, really wonderful to see, because everyone in their own way is blossoming, apart from the spring, but is really coming up, and everything is coming up flowers. It's a cliche, but this is what I see. This is what I see, said the blind man. I just love this citrine. I will say it over and over and over again. I love citrine. Hang on, I have a moonstone that I want to use. Just a second, I'll be back. Okay, everybody asks me about my jewelry, and I have a friend here in Rome who has a jewelry shop, And I always go there, and we exchange wares. Okay, this is a moonstone, a beautiful moonstone with wonderful feldspars. Okay, all right. It's not that we're going it alone. All right, you in the beginning, we all feel as if there is an epiphany, and we're doing something that we've never done before. We're finally making a decision. We're finally breaking out of our cocoon. In truth, you do this because you see that there are people around you who are doing the same. You're hearing, there's a buzz, and so you know that you're flanked. You'll know that you'll be going towards a new community that you can exchange ideas with, that you can, even your desires, and we're all, you start getting that feeling that yes, they are like me. Maybe they're at a different age, but they are like me. They're questioning the same things. They are breaking out for the same reasons. And I don't, it's clear, everything, and anything I pick up, it's clear, very, very clear. But what I see is that the movement forward will propel you at times to sidestep, go sideways, and say, my dad once said to me, look, you have a family. It's very important. But remember, even taking side roads will be illuminating, and when he grew old, I told him, don't you ever remember when you said that to me? He says, me? I never said that. And I think the message there was, just keep your eyes open and don't be focused on one thing, because life takes many different forms. And here too, I'm getting that, not the sidestepping, you're shirking your responsibilities, things like that. What I'm seeing is that your side vision, like your peripheral vision, will serve you well as you move into this new phase. Because what you pick up, what your eyes pick up at a peripheral area, will suit you well in continuing along where you want to go. And this is really, this moonstone's fantastic. And if my friend is watching, I want to say hello to her and tell her I'm very happy about this moonstone. Yes, there is a general, okay, this is the movement. You're moving forward, but you're moving forward, but you see that there is an army. I keep seeing that army. I remember one of the last scrying sessions, they were all in a row, a chevron, a delta. I use the word delta, but here I'm seeing as if there's a peak here, and then it's going outward. The delta is this way, but everyone's going forward. And that's not a lineup for, it's not a military lineup. It would be the other way, right? This is an opening, which is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Moonstone. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back. Don't forget me. And thank you so much for subscribing, sharing, and liking. I do appreciate it. Bye-bye.